Spoiler warning. The following discussion will contain spoilers. We recommend checking out the movie first, then coming back to hang with us. But if you don't care about that, glad to have you here.
Kurt Russell, phenomenal performance. It makes me intrigued to see the next one.
You fool!
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the 25 Days of Real Christmas, a series where we review some old and new holiday favorite films. My name's Kevin.
And I'm John.
And we are your Real Movie Guys. On today's episode, we'll be taking a look at The Christmas Chronicles 2. Kate Pierce, now a cynical teen, is unexpectedly reunited with Santa Claus when a mysterious troublemaker threatens to cancel Christmas forever.
Oh.
So, John, I made a statement in our last video that I was excited. You know, I had some anticipation for this movie, right? I kind of said, like, I didn't really care for the first Christmas Chronicles. I don't think there was any discussion on that. I didn't like it that much. Let's be 100% real. I gave it a C, but I was like, okay. I get it. I'm here for it. Let's see what happens. We got another one coming. We can make some improvements. We could, I don't know, maybe do something a little different.
Yeah, you gave it a C, but you were looking positive into the next one.
I was right there. I was a little, I wouldn't say excited, right? Maybe that's a little bit of an overstatement, but I was intrigued. 100%.
Yes.
I was 100% intrigued. Shame on me, man, because this movie sucks. And I'm sorry. It sucks. I would say, as of right now, out of everything we watched, and we're not done with the season yet, we're not done with our reviews yet, this is one of the worst Christmas movies, one of the worst things I've seen in a long time. And we sat through Friday the 13th, some of those movies. We sat through a lot of those. Yeah, this is like the equivalent of part 5 of Friday the 13th, okay? Where we're talking new beginnings level of bad. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's up there. This was terrible. So, John, as being a fan of the first one and everything I just said, what did you think early on?
Early on?
Yeah.
It started off weird, and then the one thing that really... I'm going to just start off with something that bothered me right away.
Oh, boy.
His mom, the kid's mom.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
That's okay. I don't remember. I try not to remember this movie. You're one step ahead of me, so that's okay. I wish I couldn't remember this movie.
So she was dating Bob, who is Tyrese Gibson, who's Fast and Furious fame.
So Tyrese Gibson, right? Like, dude, you don't have enough Fast and the Furious money? You got to come and do, like, stupid Christmas movies?
Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches.
Dude, seriously, you don't need it. Vin Diesel's going to smack you when he sees what you've been doing. You can't have that. What's wrong with you?
Here's my deal, too. His character is just him in Fast and the Furious.
Literally.
The same guy, the same thing, the same everything.
You got this. Bring it in. Got this, all right?
It doesn't go into this movie at all.
There's a scene, right? I kept dying every time. Every time, like, something like family related happened, I was expecting like Vin Diesel to like walk out, put his hand on his shoulder, and go, "That's right, Tyrese. It's family. It's family."
Look, man. All right. I know it's been rough ever since your mom died, but we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving ahead.
I used to say I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
I thought, like, is this like a weird Fast and the Furious spinoff that I wasn't told about? Because that's what this... why are you in this movie, Tyrese? Come on, man. You could do better than that.
And when he's trying...
I know you're not the greatest actor. Let's not gonna lie. You're okay. You're average actor. You're better than this. And the Fast and the Furious are pretty garbage in terms of their acting. But you're better than that, man. No.
What?
None of that.
And when he says, like, when he was growing up, he was in a boys' choir
I
or
bet he
something like
was.
that. He's
Kate has a great singing voice. She was lead vocalist in the school choir.
In 5th grade.
Really? So was I.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah. I was
bet.
like,
I believe that 100%.
I was like, oh.
He couldn't undersell his acting in this movie anymore if he tried. And I mean, I hope he wasn't trying, because God have mercy on his soul if he was actually trying to act in this movie. Poor guy. You know, man, come on, you could do better. Don't spend all your Fast and the Furious money. If you're not going to do something, you don't need it, all right? You don't need Netflix money, man. Calm down. It's going to be okay. I promise.
Well, like we've said, too, before, when you do another movie, and you do it almost like the same as you did the other one, but you throw in a little bit of different things, this is that movie right there.
It's not even that. This is
where
completely stupid. Let's get into it. I want to jump right into this before I totally take a dump all over this movie. All right, before I do that, there is a couple things that are okay. I'll give it that, right? There's a few things, right? There's a scene in this movie where they go into Santa's past. It's like Santa AD, and they show like a little bit of background.
This is where it all began. Back in 312 AD, Santa was living in Asia Minor. Today, it's called Turkey. Santa was known as St. Nicholas. He was a bishop who discovered the joy of giving, became something of a local hero.
All right, that's pretty cool. I can get behind that a little bit. That's kind of cool. It showed him just following like those old traditions, right? He's like putting the coins in the shoes, and he's putting like the things in the socks, and then they shows like the little elf interaction.
Their leader, Haakon, knew that St. Nicholas was the only one who could channel the Star of Bethlehem's power. From that day forward, they no longer referred to him as St. Nicholas. They called him Santa Claus.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Kind of cool, you know. Not particularly well done, but fine, right? I had a good time. Second thing, Teddy is not in this movie at all.
You know, you really don't have to check in on us.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it.
Teddy!
See you tomorrow.
Yes! 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 Yes!
He's in it from 5 minutes in the beginning, 5 minutes at the end, right? You know what? He's somewhat more likable. I'll give him that. He is somewhat more likable, and maybe because he's gone for most of the movie. So good on him. He made a good decision in this movie. Good for you. You know what, Teddy? Round of applause, man. I'm clapping. You can't see me because my hands are cut off, but all right, I'll give it. There you go. I'm clapping for you, man, because you made a good decision. You said 10 minutes tops, I'm going to be in this film. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump out. You know, I did my sequel. I got my paycheck. I'm out. I'm a little more likable because I'm not talking as much. Good for you. Good for you. Really liked it.
Merry Christmas, Teddy!
You've got to be kidding me.
Little Chris Rock is likable. Now, that may seem mean, but I had a funny joke. So me and my wife are watching this movie, right? I'm sitting down watching this film. The kid pops on screen. Jazier Bruno, he plays Jack. I look at this kid and I go, yeah, he looks like a little Chris Rock.
Go to the kids club, Jack. That is the direct babysitter's order.
You're only 3 years older than me. But I believe in a chain of command, so I'll save you a spot at the slime making station.
You know what they gonna say before it even comes out their mouth, and you just wanna stab them in the neck with a pencil. You can't take the shit no more.
Like, he looks just like Chris Rock, right? At times. Sure enough, he was just in that Witches remake, which we didn't cover on the channel, which if you guys want us to, you know, let us know. He played technically a younger Chris Rock. Chris Rock did the voiceover of like an older version of him in a movie. So I'm like, oh, that's a funny coincidence. You know?
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird. But you know what? As much that could be really annoying too at times. He did have some scenes, mostly when he was with Kate.
Good night, Santa.
Sweet dreams.
Good night, Santa Claus.
You know you can just call him Santa.
Women love to talk. And that's right. They're talking in the Olympics. A man wouldn't stand a chance.
Kitty Kate.
Oh, yeah.
I hate
Kitty Kate.
Oh, God, Kitty Kate. Darby Camp is the actress that plays her. When they're together, they're terrible, man. But when they're separate, he's okay.
Okay, which one did she say gives you courage and which one explodes? I'm gonna go with the gingerbread man. No, it's the snowman. I think. I hope I don't blow up.
You know, I'd watch a movie with him. I could see him like, I see he's got a good career ahead of him. You know, he tried. He did okay, you know, for the most part. He played like that generic young kid role. Another positive, and I don't even know if that's really a positive. These kind of become a little weird as far as positives. Was Goldie Hawn drunk?
Are you Mrs. Claus?
That's me.
During this whole movie, I felt like she was literally drunk throughout the whole movie.
So too.
There's scenes where she's just talking and she's like almost slurring her words out of her mouth.
Oh, look who's a movie star.
Stewie, I told you there's alcohol in that. It's not for kids. You're not for kids.
Like I could see like a little bit of like drool like popping over on the side there. She's like, oh hey guys, hey, I'm Mrs. Claus. I got over here. What are you doing? I mean, it's nice, that whole aspect of, which is kind of like in its own way, like a weird positive, like Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn in a movie together.
Nick, look at them. They're having the time of their lives.
Yes, they are.
You know, they're not married, but they've been together since, what, the 80s? They've been together. They have like 3 kids together. Her kids, or some of her kids, like think of him as like a father. So it's nice to see like a working relationship like that. They have chemistry, right? To an extent, I guess. Like, you don't really get anything more than that. But
it's very awkward chemistry.
Mrs. Claus's village is the best place on earth.
Oh.
Oh, Brian's all serious. Oh, I don't drink in the morning because I've got to land a plane.
At the end of this movie, I was dying when they like sing an "Oh Christmas Tree," which, God, you know we're gonna talk about that ending. But there's a scene where she's standing there with him and she's like falling down. I'm like, she must be really drunk. He's like helping her up. I feel like he was helping her stand up at times because she was like so out of it this whole movie.
Shit.
I'll never forget you, Mrs. Claus.
Oh, you will from time to time. And that's as it should be.
And I know it. I know, you're in Christmas Chronicles too. You know, it is what it is, man. But you could try a little Goldie Hawn. You didn't have to be completely plastered throughout the whole movie. Another positive, butt cheek Novocaine. When he's sitting in the sleigh and he gets shot with a butt with an arrow, which it was kind of weird, and I don't know if it was cool or weird. I don't know how to feel about that. He like blocked a bunch of arrows, like martial arts style Santa Claus. When they go to visit those elves, he like karates like a bunch of arrows, and then he turns over and he got like shot in the butt with an arrow, and he's like, oh, you know.
Don't you feel anything?
Nah. Riding around the sleigh is like a shot of Novocaine in the old butt cheek sometimes.
All that sleigh riding is like butt cheek Novocaine. I'm like, all right, butt cheek Novocaine. Okay. That's kind of funny. I'll give you that. I snickered. I smiled a little bit to myself. Another thing, the singing scene, it's worse than the last one, for sure. You compared it to Russell Crowe singing.
You need a spirit of Christmas. The spirit of Christmas.
Tell it, Santa.
Yeah, the spirit of Christmas.
Your time is up and your parole's begun. You know what that means.
I thought he was actually a little better maybe in the first one as far as his singing. If he had seen our review, he's like, those guys want me to be like Russell Crowe. I'm going to do it because, man, he sing that whole thing. He was just talking.
You see a great, big, beautiful world. There's an exciting adventure waiting for every boy and girl.
The only positive really that was in it was Darlene Love was in that scene.
Now wait a minute.
If you don't know her, she's a very famous Christmas song singer. She's a Christmas legend. I really like her. She has a great voice, and it was kind of nice to see. You know, nice to see a little inclusion there, especially if you know her. You've heard her songs before. So that's it. That's all I got. John, what do you got? Positive. Gotta have something. Positive. No, not going negative. Don't worry. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of them positives sound a little negative, but they were positives, let me assure you.
The positive was
come on. What'd you like?
Well, the only positive was that Kurt Russell was in it. Because
No.
I still think he's a decent Santa Claus.
No. I don't. I don't. So we're going into negatives. That's all John had. Sorry, John. You didn't have much more. So Kurt Russell, I love Kurt Russell. There's no denying that. If you haven't seen our last review, make sure you check it out because I love Kurt Russell. I worship the ground the man walks on. Kurt Russell, he didn't care. let's be 100% honest with this movie. He just showed up for a check, and he was out. He was in, he was out, and not even that, they toned him way down. Like, he is so tame compared to how he was in the first movie with his dialogue. His interactions are all bland and stale.
Excuse me?
I couldn't even give him, like, the Kurt Russell cool factor. The only time he kind of shone through that he was maybe a little more interesting was his interactions at the airport scene. He had some, like, fun interactions a little bit.
I thought that was a terrible that whole airport.
Oh, yeah.
Thing was terrible.
Oh, we're going to talk about that, but at least his interactions were more interesting.
Save the day!
It's weird because I feel like his character, the Santa Claus that they went for in the first movie, I kind of regret what I said. I said they should pick a lane and stay in it. I think they picked the wrong one because they just went full like Disney streaming movie. Like, this is like one of those stupid like spin-off movies you would see from like a TV show, like a Wizards of Waverly Place or a Sweet Life and Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana movie, something like that. Like one of those like little spin-off, like a TV exclusive movie. That's what this feels like. And Kurt Russell just, none of that charm. I mean, it shines through maybe here and there slightly.
I thought this was like part of your plan. You know, to grant my Christmas wish.
The electric scooter.
No, not...
But overall, he's just phoning it in. He just wanted that paycheck.
You say so.
Yeah, this movie, it's got a lot of bad things about it. Especially that kid, Belsnickel.
Belsnickel. Let's talk about Belsnickel.
In a few hours, this entire village will be nothing but a distant memory.
What about Belsnickel's good? Nothing.
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 You know what scares me more? Is that I think that he looks better as an elf.
You care more about children all over the world than you care about me.
And with that, he transformed into the thing he despised the most, a human.
Yeah, I said that too.
As a human?
Yeah.
Like, but it's his exact same face on
It
an
is.
elf
So what
body.
was the point? It really made no point what they did. They should have just kept him a freaking elf. They made him a human just so the actor could be in the movie to save on budget. I think that was the only reason why. Let's be real. There was no reason to that whatsoever.
It was
the guy,
so terrible.
just everything he does is terrible. Every line delivery, every little interaction he has.
Well, I'm about to change all of that. Change? Ha! You couldn't handle any of the little changes that were going on around here, so you ran away. Because you spend every hour of every year getting ready for one lousy day. A day that brings joy to children all over the world. And that will never change.
Earlier in the movie, he's trying to trick the girl, little kitty Kate, into like this portal to warp them to the North Pole. He wears like different costumes.
So you want to run away, eh? I think we can make that happen.
Like 3 or 4 different times.
Hello? Are you waiting for the airport shuttle?
Yeah.
Driver just popped the tire, so I'm taking people over in the meantime.
I'm like, what the hell, man? That's weird. He's just weird. And his delivery is so bad. Like, you're not intimidating.
Santa fell right into my trap. The old man's time is coming to an end. And mine is just beginning. Stop that.
So much fun.
I'm sorry. No matter what you say, you're not threatening to whatever's going on in this movie. And it's a shame because I actually kind of like him. He was the kid that was in Deadpool 2. He was the kid they were going after to try and help, who was like going to change everything, change the timeline, all that, whatever that was. So he was okay in that movie. He wasn't that bad. What are you doing, dude? This isn't a movie for you. This is like the one that Belsnickel. And it's funny when you say Belsnickel, I always think of The Office. Belsnickel, whenever that comes up, when Dwight dresses as Belsnickel, he's like whipping people in the office.
Oh, judgment is nigh, for the Belsnickel ist I.
Yes, he is finally nigh.
I am nigh.
So I don't know. I don't know what lore that pertains to, because they took a dump all over that for sure in this movie.
Not only did it bring the movie down, it was just terrible.
He was.
Like,
couldn't interact with anyone. I didn't care about his problem. His problem really seemed superfluous.
Minuscule.
At most times, I didn't care.
Humans suck. Elves rule. I am tired of being a human. Now it's your turn to cry.
Even the plot wasn't compelling. Like, the whole plot of this movie is just terrible. It's an offbeat mess. If you thought the first movie was a mess tonally, I wouldn't even know if this one's a mess tonally, but it's just a mess. Like, there's just like 10 different ideas they just thrown together. We got to get the star, and then there's a secret society of elves, and there's time travel randomly, then there's a family vacation, and then there's a journey to a mountaintop. What the hell? I get it's the Christmas Chronicles, but give me one chronicle at a time. Don't give me the whole goddamn encyclopedia of chronicles.
The Christmas Chronicles?
Oh, that's why they call it that.
And then nobody ever has Christmas spirit. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, well, apparently somebody does, because you keep making these movies and it keeps hopping right back. So stupid.
What?
We just opened a tear in the fabric of time. And those wormholes won't stay open for long.
How much time do we have?
11, 12 minutes at the most. Which means if we don't get Christmas spirit up soon.
We're stuck here forever.
Who Let the Dogs Out is played in this movie.
My goodness.
So that didn't date anything that happens in this, right? That's not dated.
No, not at all.
That was a fun scene.
That just came out last week.
Let's talk about the minions, right? Oh, I mean the elves. The minions? Oh. The elves? The minions? The gremlins? I don't know. Chris Columbus directed this movie, and we've talked about Chris Columbus. We're going to talk about him in the future. Chris Columbus is a good director, right? I mean, he made Home Alone 1 and 2. Got some pretty good stuff. Harry Potter. He made 2 of the Harry Potter movies. He made some good stuff.
Forgettable.
He made this. He was actually the writer for Gremlins. So that's interesting. So I guess he said, all right, let me just do the same thing again and throw it in a movie.
Put Santa Claus in it.
I don't even know if I'd say that. I think it's more of like a ripoff of Despicable Me. Because I think it's the second
Santa
one.
Claus is Groot?
No, is it the second Despicable Me where they turn purple and they become bad? They like sniff a gas too, coincidentally, and they turn bad.
The third one.
There's a third, whatever one it is. It's one of them. I don't care. It happened already. You did the same goddamn thing. I complained about them being minions in the first movie. You just made it 10 times worse. They were more annoying. They're absolutely terrible. The whole time, I couldn't get into it. I'll give them credit for one thing. And then, you know, they're too worried. This is another problem, too. Chris Columbus, I guess he was too worried about putting his little, like, jokes, his little sneak-ins there. They were watching Elf in the main plaza, and when they became bad, the movie changed to Bad Santa.
Tripled their output for an entire...
in the plaza for the movie that was free to the elves to watch. He was so worried about that, he forgot about the rest of the movie, I guess, because, you know, like, oh, we got a little joke in there, we're changing the movie. That's what this friggin' was. And not even that, they do include It's a Wonderful Life in this movie, so for those not familiar, It's a Wonderful Life, obviously a famous Christmas movie, but it's in most of his movies. It's in Home Alone 1 and 2 in a different language. I think it's in French in the first one because they're in France. It might be in Spanish in the second one. And now this one, it's in Elvish. And it's also plays in Gremlins, which he wrote. You know, these 4 movies have It's a Wonderful Life on in the background. Kind of interesting fact, right? It's a little fun snag. It would have been nice though if you cared about the friggin' movie you were making instead of what was going on in the background. Can we talk about friggin' jackalotes?
Jackal what? Jackal and coyote hybrid? My creation. Pretty cool, huh?
They're a long way from cool.
This CG in this movie is garbage. I shot all over the first one for the CG. This movie, God help it. Oh my God, I can't. The jackalotes, What the hell is a... Who thought that was a good idea? Who sat there in marketing and said, Jackalodies, that's what we need in this movie. We need some scare the crap out of kids. Seriously, those things are nightmare inducing. I have nightmares. I can't sleep. Jackalody on my mind. You literally introduced literal genetic manipulation into a movie. Good job. Good job, Netflix. Good job. You had a nice family Hallmark movie and you put genetic mutations in the friggin' movie. That's great. What happened to them now? The movie's over. Everyone's all better and all happy now. What about the Jackalodies? They're like abominations now.
They were
Lurking
like,
in the North Pole.
Folklore has it that this werewolf-type creature's out for revenge.
Listen.
Oh, holy crap!
They were like, how do we not get this played on Hallmark? And they're like, oh, let's add in Jackalodians.
This movie's bad. It is. I hate wasting time even talking about it with you guys, but just for the content and the memes, it's kind of worth it, to be honest, because this is one of the worst things I think I've ever seen. The whole time travel thing maybe could have worked in some regard if we really want to like give it a shot here, right? Give it a chance. Maybe if that was like a central plot, but it's like maybe they like thought, oh, time travel is a good idea. Let's just throw that subplot in there. It just doesn't work when it's with all this other mess. This movie is just a mishmash of ideas, literally.
None of them have been written out correctly.
I try not to be that guy where...
You say so.
Oh, he doesn't like you, he's just a snob. No, this movie's bad. It's bad on every level. I do have two favorite scenes I'd like to share with you.
Oh,
two favorite scenes.
Right.
First one is early on in the movie, right? And this is a trend, so get ready for this. Santa Claus is like going into the sleigh, or he finds the kids. They're all like frozen because they have like frostbite and they should be dead, but they're not for whatever reason. Whatever that was, that makeup job was a little frightening.
Oh my.
To say the least. Those kids look like they're dead. Good job. You could have just had them like huddled up. You didn't need them friggin' frozen over like Iceman just blasted a cold wave over the poor kids.
I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
But regardless, he gets the kids, he puts them in the sleigh. Literally, Belschnickel just pops up behind a rock. Like, literally just pops up. Like, you didn't see him there? He was literally right there. Literally, you just, like, go like that. Like, see what I'm doing right here? Going like that. You would see him. I laughed so hard when that happened in this movie. Like, if I wasn't already, like I said, dreading this from the first couple minutes, that scene did it. That did it for me. I'm like, this is what we're dealing with, guys. This is the scene. The ho-ho. Like, the little popping out. It's so ironically funny. I can't. The funniest things I've ever seen unintentionally in a movie.
Well, let's be honest. We all know that he couldn't hold on to that sled that long anyway.
Well, that's a whole nother game. Friggin' from the drone. He's hanging onto a drone. Like, I'm like, that was he has like weird scenes where he does that, right? He just disappears. Like, it's like really off-putting. And that scene, especially the drone scene too, he just kind of like flies away and just...
This is bad.
Just like, oh, bye. Okay, whatever, dude. The last scene that I will give this movie absolute shit for is Oh Christmas Tree, My Christmas Tree. When I watched this, right, I thought I was watching like a promotional video for like a cult about to commit suicide.
Oh Christmas tree, how lovely are your branches.
Children, the time of ascension has arrived. Oh, for the love of God, haven't any of you ever been in a cult before?
Like, I thought they drank like the Kool-Aid and are about to like walk into the ocean. That's what I thought. It almost made me want to do that. I kind of contemplated my life choices up until this time. Asked my wife, like, we got any Kool-Aid? Could put some like rat poison in there. I'm about to go like walk in the ocean right now and sing "Oh Christmas Tree, My Christmas Tree." That ending was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And I think they all knew it.
Maybe tonight, maybe we should have a caroling party.
Like, you all knew it, right? How could you not? How could an actor not know that was stupid? Because, no, I'm sorry. I'm trying. I can't. I just can't do this anymore. As much as crap as I gave the first one, as much as I shit all over that movie, it's better. It's way better. It's Oscar worthy in comparison to what we got here. I'm sorry. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen. This is a hard skip. I think we're ready to get to our final scores. I'm going to give Christmas Chronicles 2 a big, jolly F. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was as drunk as Goldie Hawn thinking there was a chance this was going to be good. If they make another one, oh, you know we're going to watch it. I'm going to hate myself after. I'm going to take a cold shower after and just regret my life choices every minute, every second. Skip this, guys. We watched it. You don't have to. John, where do you stand with this?
You don't have to. I'll give this a D.
Bah humbug! You watch your mouth, young elf!
D?
It's terrible.
What's wrong with you?
I can't give it an F. That just gives it too much credit.
Too much credit? You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
He said it! He said it!
This is the one time I'll fight you till the end. This movie's an F. It's a big, jolly stinker of a film. Without a doubt. I'm sorry. I can't. Kurt Russell, movie. I love you, man. I support you. I don't support this. You know, this is like when you see like your best friend like getting drunk and doing drugs and you have to have an intervention. Someone better intervention Kurt Russell real quick.
You know, a bar offers all kind of things other than alcohol.
Really? Like what?
Women. Nacho Grande platters. The fellowship of some fascinating individuals like Warren here. Alcohol is just a lubricant for all the individual encounters that a bar room offers.
Because we're going down a slippery slope.
And Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn, she's too far gone, man. She lost it. Kurt Russell's barely holding her up throughout the movie. I'm sorry.
Literally
I can't.
And figuratively.
You know, there may be, I would usually say at this point, like, all right, you know, maybe a little kids can get some enjoyment out of this. No. Don't do that, man. Don't do that to your kids.
Don't scar your children.
What's wrong with you? Please, you know, and that's always the excuse, like, oh, well, it's made for little kids. Put on a good movie for a little kid. They don't have to watch crap because they're a little kid. You can actually let them watch a good movie. That's okay.
And honestly,
that's
I don't
quite
even think
okay.
this was made for like a little kid.
I don't know who this was made for. Obviously not a living being. Maybe for you. You gave it a D. So maybe it's made for you in some regard.
Just wait. When they go to our YouTube channel where they can find us at The Real Movie Guys on YouTube, they will let us know in the comments.
Oh, I like your segue.
Whether they like this movie. Very unfortunately.
Let us know. If you like this in the comments, let me know.
So subscribe to our channel, like this, if you either agreed with us or disagreed. Just let us know your opinion. You can either let us know your opinion in the comments down below, or you can let us know your opinion over on Twitter, at TheReelMovieGuy on Twitter. Let us know what you thought. You could also listen to this on many podcasting platforms, such as...
Yes, for your listening pleasure. We are also available in podcast form at iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, Overcast, Breaker, Radio Public, and Pocket Casts. Be sure to give us a listen at any of those fine places. If you already are right now, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you again so much for joining us for this episode of The Real Review, no matter how painful it was. My name's Kevin. That guy over there, he's John. We are your Real Movie Guys. Real guys, real movies, real thoughts. And don't forget to tune in all this month as the holiday festivities continue during the 25 days of Real Christmas. I promise we'll try to bring you some better movies in the future. Can't promise that with the Home Alone movies on the way, though. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. See you next time.
See ya.
If I make it. Because, God, this movie took a lot out of me.